fuck, it better be good.
Max
It better be good.
Excited, bro. He looks too excited.
Fucking Monday, taking us away from work. This better be fucking good.
Sitting at the office in his Normatec boots, working. Dude, like sometimes he's not even wearing pants.
Yeah.
Just sits there in his underwear and it's like dormant. I love it. Like you come around the corner and see a pair of jeans on the floor. And
It's fucking like put your pants on, bro.
It almost gets Patrick motivated to work his
that's why I come in actually. I hope I see you.
Almost.
That's why I come in. I hope to see you in underwear. I'm like, oh, hopefully Eddie's naked.
The
again.
office vibes when Eddie's there, you're gonna see it's great.
Yeah, it gets a little dicey.
How does rapid fire work with a stuttering Swede?
Yeah.
You got an extra 5 seconds for answer.
Extra 5 on the clock.
Today's episode is about to be legendary.
Can I hire you to do my LinkedIn page next or what? It's for sure P. He's got no lower body strength. Like
I
for
don't
sure,
either.
he would get hurt.
It's official, Alan. There's gonna be a pickleball match.
Me.
Can't even spell me.
You can't even spell me.
Eddie, that's actually a good point.
Which one?
Max always has 10 text messages out to me with a punch list by 6:30 in the morning, so dream dinner guest right now. Trump, just to see what that guy is going through right now and how things are going.
Do you think the bachelor party lived up to the hype?
King unveiling at the Bagatelli down there.
What does that mean?
That's where they shut down the whole club and brought your boy out with 17 bottles of Dom.
That's actually.
Is that a referral agreement out here?
50-50. What did you post today? You sure I posted something today, a motivational quote?
Well, if you would follow me, you would know.
I don't know why Eddie looks nervous.
You get invited for your bachelor party.
We wanted things to be fun, but not like criminal, you know?
Granted, one guy was in jail, so.
Yeah.
2 a.m. Like, where is this email? Why didn't I get it? My wife is probably not gonna listen to this. When I get really tired, I go to the office and I take a little nap with my Normatec on and everything. Why is this targeted at me? I swear to God.
Welcome back to the show. Eddie's the stork, Lack, and Eddie the closer water. Bring it up. Can't compete. All right, guys, welcome to the Let's Talk Development podcast, your go-to show for insights about real estate, lifestyle, business, and everything else. My name is Max.
I'm Patrick. We're two Germans here in the Valley doing real estate developments, investments, and here to show you guys a little bit what's happening behind the scenes. We're happy you guys are here. And please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Guys, I'm very excited. Today's episode is about to be legendary. Not just one Eddie, but two. That's right. Double the name, double the real estate hustle, and triple the entertainment. This has been a long time coming. For the first time ever, we got both of you guys here in the building. Patrick and I are super excited. And on one mic, he's the Swedish brick wall who shut down NHL greats, a gold medal winner for Team Sweden, and now a certified real estate powerhouse. He brings his signature swagger, work ethic, sometimes, and sharp eye from the ice to the Arizona market. But it's not just about stats or sales. His clients stay with him because of his knowledge, integrity, and the kind of focus that makes you feel like you're the only client in the room. Whether he's between the pipes or between properties, he brings the heat and the humor. And joining him, he's a deal-making, globe-trotting, soon-to-be-married real estate powerhouse with over $500 million in closed sales, founder of the local real estate group, and one of the sharpest minds in Arizona real estate. He has a global vision, local execution, and a reputation for always delivering, whether it's your dream home or multi-million-dollar flip. So buckle up for some laughter, some elite-level gems, non-stop banter, and a whole lot of real estate talk about life, business, and what's next in Arizona real estate. Welcome back to the show. Eddie's the stork, Lack, and Eddie the closer water. Bring it up.
Can I hire you to do my LinkedIn page next or what?
You just copy and paste that. We'll copy and
That's
paste
a
and send it to
solid
you.
introduction there.
ChatGPT did a hell of a job, let me tell you.
Actually, that was Alan while I was reading. So I'm like, this is pretty fucking good, dude.
I'm going to tip him on the way out.
Good.
Great job plugging it into ChatGPT.
Good job, Alan.
All right, so Alan, how do we get this thing started here? Oh shit.
yeah.
Which
That's where
one's
you
the
can test your spelling.
Which one's the best Eddie?
Front and center.
The game is who's more likely. That's the game here. That's the
more
concept. So we gotta make it quick with it. So first one, who's more likely to close a deal while on vacation?
I mean, that's all we do. But wait, how do I? Oh, do I just write like this? Eddie, can you help me?
I don't want you looking
There.
at my board.
Okay, write it big. People can see.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Eddie himself.
I put myself on
I
that.
put himself. Yeah.
Smart man.
Who's more likely to put himself? Max.
And Eddie for sure.
Without a doubt.
Because they're always on vacation, that's why.
Yeah.
And we're always closing deals. I guess it's right.
They go hand in hand.
Who's more likely to sell a home to a celebrity? Three, two, one.
Got that.
Bro, I
pretty
give you
close.
props. No, it's you.
No, you're just giving me props to give me props. It's
No,
fine.
I mean it.
It's because Eddie's
It's
a celebrity.
fine.
What did you put on there?
Me.
Good man.
Who do you know? You know, like Rory McIlroy. That's it.
I just happen to be always at the show.
He doesn't need a house here.
Who's more likely to flip their own house and move again in 6 months?
Oh my God.
That's tough with this
That's
crew.
such an
Yeah.
easy one.
That's
though.
an easy one.
That's an easy one.
All of our homes are for
I
sale.
can already Valerie calling.
3, 2, 1.
M and P.
Yeah, we're going with
Yeah.
I mean, history shows that's kind of
Yeah.
what happens.
Who's more likely to trash talk on the golf course?
Oh my God.
Three, two, one.
That's unanimous.
First one,
That's
actually.
unanimous.
First one.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting
Too bad he
somewhere.
can't back it up. Too bad he can't back it up.
Who's more likely to injure themselves at a pickleball tournament?
Pickleball. I mean, pickleball is just. I mean, I'm not gonna say what I was just thinking.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh shit! Everybody does something different.
Everyone said the
We
same.
got whacked.
It's for sure P. He's got no lower body strength. Like
I
for
don't
sure,
either.
he would, for
Alright.
sure he would get hurt.
Okay, we got a match going for sure.
Dude, you underestimate him. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got a match going now.
It's official, Alan. There's gonna be a pickleball match. It's gonna be Patrick
to
and
be
I
clipped
against
in.
the Eddies.
Clipped
Yes.
in here.
All right, who's more likely to wear flip-flops to a showing?
Oh, I mean that's easy. Surprised he wears shoes sometimes.
Me.
Can't even spell
You
me.
can't even spell me. What do you got, bro?
I got lack on here.
Yeah, of course. Surprised he's wearing shoes today.
I know, I was glad he had shoes on when I got
I
here.
have. I actually wore flip flop to a showing on Friday. It's a new build. It's 110 outside. Like,
Who's more likely to join a yacht party and meet with a new client?
Uh,
3, 2, 1.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
huh?
we got Max.
Well, no, I said you. I mean, technically, all of us.
Max will be bringing it there
No,
for sure.
all of us. No.
I mean, all four of us better be
I mean,
on the
Patrick
yacht.
loves boats. He would definitely
Yeah.
come.
I'll
Four
bring
of
the
us need
boat.
to be on that boat.
I would be too drunk to leave with a client.
Who's more likely to challenge a client to a round of golf for a price reduction?
Should be me, but it's probably.
I got Max.
Max would lose that. You don't handle the pressure on the golf course. Let's be honest.
Right, now we got a golf match too. Golf match. We should make.
So pickleball and golf match now, just so you know.
Who's more likely to miss a tea time because they were closing a deal?
Ah.
Add himself real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather let the deal go than
Be like,
I would
miss
not.
the tea
I
time.
would not let a deal go over tea.
Who's more likely to show up to the wrong house?
Why is this targeted at me? I swear to God.
Me too.
I feel like these are targeted at me.
You too?
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I've
Yeah.
been at the wrong house a couple times. All right.
Pickleball tournament, a golf tournament.
So we got pickleball, golf.
If we were not like 100% sure that this podcast was gonna bring more clients to the rest of you guys from me, this just confirmed it. Would anyone work with me after seeing this?
I'm not gonna send it to your client.
Yeah.
Like, Eddie wears flip flops, he's drunk at the party.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't
shows
care
up
about the
late.
deal. He's gonna have his tea time.
But I think there's a large pool of people that's very appealing to, you know.
Yeah. This was strategic. Coming into the Scottsdale market, we got to put him on blast a little bit, you know.
There's a
Give
new Eddie in
myself some
town.
room to breathe.
Okay,
Are you gonna start?
no, you start. It's more your department.
Okay, all right. Let's get into real estate. Let's start with some real estate stuff. So, Eddie, that's actually a good point.
Which one?
Good point. So Tucson
The
Eddie.
Eddie.
Tucson Eddie. So actually a question I was thinking about last night for the podcast. So now you're actually coming up into a new market, and I think there's a lot of people out there want to get into real estate or transition to a market. Like, give us a rundown of what is your strategy to break into a new market, because you're basically like not starting from zero because you have a lot of connections and knowledge, but you got to kind of like, you know, build a new business.
Yeah.
Maybe include how long you've been thinking about actually doing this.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it since I met you boys back in the day, you know, but the reality is I think coming into the new market, I'm looking to take what I've already implemented as far as systems and everything go and marketing and just kind of extend those channels up here while also plugging into the new network. Thankfully, we've got great resources like you guys up here and other mutual friends in real estate, and I think that's really going to help catapult, you know, our jumpstart us up here.
Give us one or two systems that you're like referring to that you already know work for you.
So we do a lot of like digital marketing, which I think is going to be kind of nice up here. I think you guys are more network based. I bring a lot of digital marketing is how I've grown my business. And once I establish those initial relationships, we kind of branch off of those with more personal connections. So for getting started in a new market, it gives me a little more flexibility.
Just be honest. You decided to come here when Patrick ordered a Ferrari on his birthday.
I'm not going to lie, that got me a little fired up.
A little fired up.
Yeah.
Well, before we start here with some the life update segment, now that it's official that you're coming, Patrick and I and everybody, including the other Eddie, and he would probably not admit it, but we were like super excited. This is gonna be fucking amazing. We can't wait to have you up here and sling more deals than we've ever slinged together, and obviously sneak in a trip or two as well to brainstorm and some board meetings. You know,
Absolutely.
you and I like that a lot.
100%. It's necessary.
Okay, so what's new with the Eddies? Eddie Lack, let's start with you. You're about to become a dad for the third time. How's that changed your day-to-day as an agent and running your business? Give us a little insight.
I don't know yet. I mean, two is a lot of work. 3 is gonna be crazy, but I think that I just gotta be like more efficient with my time, and I think that like I learned a lot from you two, like how you manage your day and how you schedule your day and everything, and I think that has just helped me have like a little bit more free time, I think, and be able to spend like a little bit more time with the family in like the mornings and the nights and stuff. So like I just gotta be better at time managing a little bit more, but definitely like a third one is gonna be like a lot more work.
Are you gonna stop, or are you just gonna get started after 3?
Depends who you ask.
Well, I'm asking you.
Well, I think this is it. I
Yeah.
think like I love kids and I love being a dad, but I think that just the first 2 years are just so time consuming, and you kind of need to have all hands on deck, right? So I'm starting over that clock again now, and I don't think I want to start it over for a fourth time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. after talking me into it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so, and then, yeah, Eddie, for you, there's also a little bit of a change happening, right? You're going to get married at the end of the year. We're talking about like spending some more time up here. How do you plan on like adjusting your, like the whole lifestyle once you come up here, being basically dual city for a while, and how do you schedule your life?
I think I'm looking forward to the wedding, of course, getting that all knocked out. Once that's complete, it's really going to open up my schedule. And as far as time management goes between the two, I think having a split schedule to get started is going to be great, but I'm fortunate enough to have a team that runs itself down in Tucson. And I know I got good partners both down there and up here that can help me in the event I'm in the other city and need clients to be serviced or anything at all. So I'm looking forward to utilizing those resources and kind of working the two markets until I'm full steam ahead up here.
What are you most excited about coming here? Actually making the move.
Yeah, the excitement for me is just a completely new market. Getting to see and kind of tap into some new demographics of people, new connections, networks. I think having a lot of friends that have been up here for a long time, have great relationships, is just something that's going to be nice for me to experience and kind of share some synergy with like-minded people.
Kind of nice to have lunch at Global Ambassador instead of Chili's down in Tucson too.
Got me fired up. The Cracker Barrel down there, my clients aren't loving right now.
Coming from Taco Bell.
So yeah.
That's actually a good point too. Like, we're all like working obviously a lot, right? Like everybody's doing good on the production, selling homes. Like, how do you guys think about the grind versus family, off time, like the good work-life balance, which is, we as Europeans maybe know that a little bit better than America's more grind. Europe is a little bit more lifestyle. How do you guys balance that, and how do you see that affecting your life and your career?
For me, I think because I've more developed from just an agent to like more on the development side, like you guys did, right, too. And for me, I got my team and everything now, so I don't do that much on like our listings and everything on like a day-to-day basis, right? So I feel like just jumping in more on the development side has actually freed up time for me, because like most of my work gets done there on the first half of the day. But like with the developments, like your contractors or whatever is usually not gonna call you at 7 or 8 o'clock at night with an issue, right? So it kind of freed my nights off like a little bit more, which I actually like.
I think overall, schedule-wise, it's just something that's going to kind of allow me to have a little more free time, Diving into it, I think being on the real estate team side of things, I'll just have a little more flexibility with things as far as coming up here, working with you guys, and just having the right people around. My schedule is going to be pretty flexible coming into a new market, which is kind of something I'm looking forward to, and making sure I'm able to fill those spots of time I do have available with good high income producing activity, which is what I'm looking for.
Lunch at the Global.
Yeah, 100%, it's going to get me started.
Eddie Waters. So we did your bachelor party. We could talk about that later a little bit. Don't want to disclose too much here, but definitely want to touch base on it. So you're getting married now, end of September, and then you're now transitioning to going back and forth between Tucson and Scottsdale. Is there anything in that process that you're currently going through that you feel like was unexpected, or that's very challenging, managing all these things? Or maybe going back to how to make, I guess, your life most efficient, juggling all those things at the same time?
Yeah, I definitely think it's kind of interesting to think about in hindsight, because once you establish the team, everything's running, and you're so plugged in the day-to-day in Tucson, it does make leaving to a new market a little more difficult, because we have the developments going on. We've got all of our partnerships down there with local lenders, title reps. All of our relationships are down there. So jumping into a new market, even though you have friends up here, business associates, all of that stuff, it's really a change of pace. So your day-to-day changes, And I think it's going to be really interesting to see how that kind of plays out, and also how fast I can adapt to the new market and get these things moving. So I'm looking forward to it. But overall, there's been no hurdles. I think just stepping out of the comfort zone to make some big changes is the best thing.
I think the other thing, because we have that on, is a question for Eddie, Hockey Eddie. Because at your bachelor party, like, it was interesting to, like, you know, when you talk to everybody that's there, like, everybody was somehow in real estate, right? Like, everybody's doing something. Like, there was a lot of good conversations about work stuff, right? On the fun trip. So that question to you, like, you played team sports for a long time. Do you miss that, like, team spirit, team atmosphere? I mean, we still have, I think the brokerage America One is a very good, like, family style approach, but, like, how does it change your day to day from, like, having a team situation to now being more like a individual business person?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's what's been exciting to growing my own business and bringing more people on board, right? It's the just being by myself was tough in the beginning, I felt like, and like my whole life I've had someone telling me where to be and what to do at what time exactly, what point of the day, right? So to go from that to more be like a self starter, you know, it took a little bit while to get going, I feel like, but now I'm excited to, like, take more people aboard and just, like, grow my business that way, because that's definitely something that I've missed, like, just being by myself. So yeah.
So I guess for both of you guys, obviously including for us, we're constantly growing and putting ourselves in situations that are not very comfortable, knowing that we grow from these, right? So what would you say is, you know, your top one or top two, you know, mindset things that help you to get through that? Is there something that you can share that helps both of you guys?
I think overall, just kind of knowing from new experiences, going through something a little uncomfortable in a business aspect is going to open new doors, new connections. And if you can rely on the people around you to kind of point you in the right direction, I think you're overall going to be in good shape. So.
Yeah, and I think that, like, I mean, if you're just never uncomfortable and you're just in the same spot over and over again, like, you're not going to grow, right? And there has to be some risk taking out there to grow your business. I mean, my biggest thing, I feel like, is just I try to not get too far ahead of myself, and I try to have, like, a very short memory as well. So, like, I mean, none of us really know what the market is going to do, like, 6, 8, 12 months from now, so why worry about it now, right? Like, I just try to take each day as they come and just do it the best that I can, and everything is going to work out, I feel like, when I do that. So
yeah, good point, the market, right? So that question always has to come up. Give us your thoughts on the current market, and maybe where it's, I mean, like you said, nobody has a crystal ball, but based on your experience, like, where do you see the market right now, and where do you see some stuff heading, and maybe some opportunities?
I mean, we're definitely in a buyer's market now. Like I don't think that anyone can question that anymore. I think that it is going to be slower. I still think that things are going to move, but I think it's going to be slower for kind of the rest of this year, until, like, tariffs and stock market, and, like, I mean, Max talked about it earlier today, but just, like, the normal seasonality that we have here in Arizona, right? So I think we're going to be a little bit slower going into next year, but then next year I think it's still going to be business as usual, and we are in, like, a very strong market here, I think.
I would agree with that. I kind of feel like the market has softened, but overall we're still seeing deals move. Nothing's sitting there indefinitely, so I think there's just a little price adjustment on the horizon. And especially in Arizona, we have the seasonal market. So during the summers, we're just going to hit the slow time anyways. I really think that as soon as we get back into snowbird season, we'll probably see that market firm up a little bit once we hit like our new baseline. So I'm looking forward to it. Coming up here right around Q4 is my goal. And so I think there's going to be enough influx of clientele and things will still be moving enough to kind of get going. Plus, in my opinion, it's a great time to pick up marketing. When other people are kind of fearful of the market and they start letting go of marketing, is the best time to be proactive and start picking up marketing is kind of always been my take on things. So
And not only marketing, but acquiring new projects. you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
You can buy better
Yeah.
deals now than you've been able to buy, which
Yep.
is always a plus.
What's your guys' ratio between buyer and seller representation? Like how much percentage is buyers versus sellers?
I would say I'm like 50-50 right now, but I have a lot of inventory coming next year. Like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say I'm probably 60-40. Like I'm a little buyer heavy, and then we do a good amount of listings too. But the buyers always seem to be, at the door a little more often.
Okay, interesting. Just because we have to talk about it, Eddie, do you think the bachelor party lived up to the hype?
I think it did. I think all expectations were met or exceeded. So it was a good time.
What was your personal highlight?
Personal highlight had to be the King unveiling at the Bagatelli down there.
What does that mean?
That's where they shut down the whole club and brought your boy out with 17 bottles of Dom.
Maybe there's a little picture. in
That
the-
was a
in the
pretty
podcast.
solid welcoming to the marriage life coming up here soon. So
Alan, we have to include that picture.
Yeah.
Well,
that was
we'll make it into the seat somewhere. I think, like I said, what I want to point out there too, and I think it's very interesting, like we talked about, is like there's a lot of like Max and I didn't really know anybody there, or like very briefly, and after a few days, I mean, now there's friendships from that. There's a lot of business talks, right? There's still a group chat that every now and then gets fired up, or and then some of the guys coming up here and now hanging out with, like, I think that's something that's always getting underestimated. Like, it's a network thing, right? So I think wherever we go, like maybe golf, whatever, like there's always, if you do it the right way, it organically builds up to something, right?
You're going to steal the few clients he has already up here.
no.
No, but I mean, yeah, like on the opposite side, right? They're all like in the industry, right? So they were, it's not like they're not clients, but they are people that do developments down there. Now we're looking at maybe doing the multifamily deal down there together, where some of the guys might be on the contractor side or on the plans and permitting side, which is kind of cool to see how tight knit you guys are down there, because I feel like up here that's a little different because it's a bigger market, so it's hard to find like a, I mean, if you had a bachelor party right now, you probably wouldn't bring your architect and your builder, and like it's a little different. I feel like you guys have a very cool network down there, so it's gonna be cool to see if that kind of moves up here with you a little bit.
Yeah, it's been kind of nice because all of the friends that we have kind of end up in the industry, or they're doing something in the industry already, and that's kind of how we initially connect. And then those relationships just keep growing as we do more projects, spend more time together, and you're talking to these people on the phone 2 or 3 times a day versus some friends you might only talk to once or twice a month. So it's kind of interesting to see how that works.
And we have a second guy already coming down from Tucson. Ernie is gonna move up here, so it's 2 out of 9 guys that were there that now are making the move.
They got to make the move, yeah.
Place, look into it.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
I mean, Tucson's a fantastic market to like get in, start developing, do real estate, anything, and then you can always step up from there. As far as sales, development, there's other opportunities. So
it's a great market to get out of.
100%.
And he's actually staying in, but it's not yourself. You got your system set up, which I think that's super impressive and kind of cool that you can keep that running down there without pretty much
I'm excited to see if we can duplicate that here too. The same systems we have, duplicate it here at a different price point in a different market, and see if that's something we can do the same way we do it down in Tucson and be successful with it.
I think the other thing that's interesting too is like that it's more like multifamily heavy, I feel like, down there, right? And up here, like you working more on like development stuff, flips. Do you and your investors have any interest in getting into that multifamily space, or is it really focused on
I do have investors that are interested in it. Like my whole thing is that just like I personally don't like feel that I have enough knowledge to guide you the right way, right?
And yeah, and I mean, once we jump in, the four of us having the deals we have and everything like that, if we have the insight on how to do the development, you have the clients, it's like that's a new relationship that just comes together, which is great.
We have the resources collectively, right?
And I mean, between Max having the relationships with the bankers and us knowing how to run the numbers for our cap rates and income, where we need to have our rents, what the project needs to cost to build, like we have all those resources, which is huge. So, and up here, I don't know what it's like to acquire land and do that stuff. So I'm kind of excited to just do a little market research and see what stuff's selling for price point wise. And then also rely on you guys as partners, because when I'm doing deals, negotiating for my clients and making sure I'm getting them the best possible numbers, that I've got solid references to rely on.
So that's actually a follow-up question on here. So if you had a new investor right now, they would call you and say, hey, I want to put some money somewhere, like what would you advise them to do right now?
I would call the better Eddie.
That's actually...
Is that a referral agreement out here?
referral
50-50.
Done and done.
Yeah, no, it's most of my stuff is single family. Like I really like the Cactus corridor right now with the single family specs and everything. That's where I put most of my guys. But like there's guys that don't like the single family, and like in that instance I would love to just like collaborate on it. So yeah, that'd be exciting to see kind of happen. And the nice thing is, like in the Tucson market, we have a lot of Scottsdale clients that are up here already, and they bought second homes and stuff like that. We've already been able to refer each other business up here in Scottsdale, down in Tucson, and that's something that's always nice to have. Just good referral partners and resources.
Are you guys adjusting any of your investment strategies with the way you think about the current market, or are you just going to stick to what you guys are doing?
I'm sticking to my guns because I still think that like the numbers make most sense where I'm doing it now. So I'm gonna keep going what I'm doing. I'm definitely open to learning more as always, but I don't panic over the current market. No, I don't.
Yeah. And I think I'm going to stick to doing the multifamily development right now, because what I like is there's multiple exit strategies with that. So for us, we can get the project done, we can refinance it on the back end and hold the asset, or we can resell it, and you have that kind of opportunity. Whereas new territory for me would be something like you guys do, the spec homes, where it's like at the end of the day, the project's got to get sold unless someone's going to move into the home. So it's kind of interesting that there's, multiple exits is always something that I like, because it gives me a little more flexibility. So, but also being diversified is key as well. So maybe being in the specs and the developments, all that fun stuff.
I think that's the one thing that we learned the last few years, like the mix between the two, right? Like it's more like higher active income on the flip side, and it's more security, more mailbox money, more long-term on the, that's why we've been liking the combination of doing the development stuff, taking some of those profits out and parking them in multifamily stuff. So I think that's why it's a great, combination. And like you said, I think that's where the whole, collaboration comes in, like showing each other what we're doing and how we can get into the space, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Is there any project that either of you guys have like as a dream project, or something you would love to do, like something you always wanted to do, like either a huge spec or a class development type thing? Like,
I think for me, the goal is like starting to get into the larger multifamily, like commercial, 24 units, 40 units. Because at the end of the day, I'm starting to realize it's the same amount of footwork to kind of acquire the land, get your plans and permits, and then kind of fund the deal. So whether you're doing a $400,000 duplex or a $4 million apartment, for the most part, you're doing all the same steps. You're spending the same amount of time. It's just bigger numbers, which I think is something.
Flips,
I think it's something you guys have already found. Bigger numbers, same amount of work, bigger returns. It's a win-win.
And I think downside protection too. That's what we talk about, the flips. A small remodel, stuff can go wrong just like in any other project, and it does.
Yep.
And then the question is how much buffer do you have? And I think we've all experienced that in specifically in those lighter remodel projects.
Yeah. Like I don't think I have one dream project per se. I mean, I just want to work with good people that are fun and easy to work with at this point. Like there's definitely been some learning experience for me too with people that I really like don't see myself working with anymore. So it's I just want to work with good solid people that know what they're doing.
How do you guys balance kind of expectations and with your clients in a market environment? And maybe Eddie Lack, we had that conversation this morning on a listing room. But how do you guys manage those expectations with clients, especially on the listing side, right? Because I think it's never easy, but I feel like now it's specifically more challenging outside of the seasonality due to what's going on in the economy, tariffs, interest rates, volatile stock market. So how do you guys manage that? Maybe Eddie Waters.
I think one thing I've kind of learned being in real estate and on the investment side of things was to just have the difficult conversation up front instead of postponing it or trying to hide an issue, just being very transparent with it and direct. I've learned like a lot of sellers and buyers alike really appreciate that. So when you're direct with them, you let them know what the market is, you're realistic about numbers and the results, you overall have a happier client than if you kind of mislead them with the price or expectations of days on market, whatever it might be. You're going to see better results and have a happier client if you kind of take care of those tough conversations up front.
I agree. I mean, the hard part is like sometimes you have those conversations and like they still don't listen, or then they go hire someone else or like whatever. But I think that what I've learned too as we go is that like I'd rather like not take a listing if it's not going to be on my terms, because like if it's not on my terms, it's not going to sell, and then I'm the one that's putting my reputation on the line, right? So
yeah, I think that's the difference between like a seasoned agent that's been in the business and maybe a new agent. Like a lot of the times we'll have conversations with people and they're unrealistic about the price. And so I put a note in my CRM just to kind of keep eyes on the property and see what it actually sells for. And I'd say 70-80% of the time they end up price reducing down to around the price we recommended up front. But they spent 6 or 7 months on the market. The home may have been vacant, just kind of incurring additional expenses they didn't need to do, where if they kind of worked with someone that knew the market better, they might be in better shape. But at the end of the day, it's up to the clients to make those decisions.
Talking about expectations too, when you guys do investment stuff, what are your expectations on returns, and what are you like telling potential investors or partners on numbers? And it's kind of interesting because you're almost doing different things right now, so it's going to be interesting to hear like the flip development, numbers on it, and then the more like multifamily.
you want the actual numbers?
Just like ballpark
Yeah.
numbers, like what are you shooting for as far as returns, annualized, and that kind of stuff? Right?
Yeah. So in the Cactus corridor right now, we see about like 100% appreciation over a year and a half. So I use Max fix and flip deal manager, and I plug everything in, and
you still don't get it?
and it
Yeah.
spits in.
Chat GBT.
So sometimes I have like messed up the numbers, and I call Max and I'm like, why is this not giving me what I want? And he's like, well, you're an idiot and you messed it up. And
There's a data
yeah.
input sheet. That's the only one you should
Yeah.
be messing with.
yeah
Just changing the formulas around.
But no, that's kind of like the numbers on the Cactus deals and the expectations. So
What does it translate into, like a cash on cash return?
so it's
Maybe
like a
just
million
make it
in, a million out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are
Yeah.
pretty solid returns right there.
Yeah.
And then start to finish on those?
Like 16 to 18 months. Yeah.
And what are you looking at on numbers on the
Yeah.
multifamily stuff?
I think it kind of depends on the deal itself, because every deal pencils a little differently. I mean, on average, what I'm looking to do is be into the deal for about 70 to max 80% of its value. So the Tucson market's a little different, I feel like, because up here, the margins can be so large in the price per square foot. We're a little limited down there. So in the multifamily market, we're pricing everything off of a cap rate. So as long as we can secure 25 to 30% equity in a deal, we're in really good shape down there.
I have a different question because we actually never asked that question, but I thought about it. So we all obviously really real estate heavy. Outside of real estate, what do you guys look at for investments and maybe putting your money? Like, how do you have 100% in real estate stuff, or do you still have, like, are you more like a stock ETFs type thing, or other businesses? Like, what do you guys do with your money outside of real estate?
If anything.
Well, Steve, our good broker Steve, got me in on the S&P 500 train, so I just like slow and steady wins the race with Steve. It's Steve and Eddie.
There you go. For the most part, I'm very heavily based in real estate right now because that's what I know. I like what I know. When it comes to stocks and all of these other kind of investment classes, I just feel like there's just as much volatility as there is in the real estate side of things. And the biggest kind of learning curve I had was reaching the know-how of taxes, right? So real estate's helping offset my earned income, which I really like, versus other people might want to have more of a long-term comfortable asset like stocks, something to retire with. For me, real estate is that play right now, but I'll definitely diversify. If there's ever good investment opportunities, I'm interested.
Well, I guess we tried out a few different things.
sprinkle.
Horses,
Watches,
restaurants.
watches.
Yeah, restaurants.
We sprinkle.
We like to sprinkle now that we have the opportunity to do that, and I think that we do it kind of the same way that we do it with everything, right? We run that pretty much by all of our friend groups and create those opportunities, and we're not afraid to try things out. But I think we're also in a transition phase too, where stocks are some longer term stuff in a separate bucket is probably a good idea. And I think real estate too, like you said, I think that's especially what we do on the multifamily side. That obviously is a huge tax component, but I think that the value add long-term equity, cash flow play there is, Patrick and I would put our money into this versus a 401k all day, right? Because we see on our Lee project how much equity and value we created, and we'll probably never have to look back on that asset. We'll just keep it and let it roll.
Yeah, and it's funny you guys asked that question because just Tuesday last week I met with someone for long-term financial investments. And I don't think there's anything wrong with putting a fixed amount monthly into that bucket, something you don't invest that's just kind of there to, help you in the long run for family, kids, wife, whatever it might be. I think that's a good idea.
There was like a crypto thing floating around the office a few years ago, and I was the idiot that bid on it, and I lost a Rolex. So I'm out on the crypto train.
Yeah, it wasn't really good for us either.
It was probably more the guys that I invested with.
They got a Rolex.
Yeah.
Good point. I mean, what do you guys like spending your money on outside of real estate and investments?
Diapers.
Yeah. For me right now, it's my wedding, but besides that, it's travel. So travel's the number one. That's the one thing you
bottles
always
of
get back.
Dom.
Yeah. The boys helped with that one, so that's what we've been investing in recently.
Well, Eddie Waters is definitely by far number one on the travel list. So if you guys have any questions about some travel destinations or how to use your points,
Let's do
Eddie is definitely the go-to guy on that.
Yeah, always. And we need another travel set up here in the books very soon. We definitely need a good trip with the boys. I don't know why Eddie looks nervous right now.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed. I felt like Patrick's 40th was a tryout for your bachelor party. I felt like I did really, really well, but I didn't get invited. So
I thought you did too.
Yeah.
I was actually concerned if we brought you. We wanted things to be fun, but not like criminal, So
It wasn't too much of a risk.
Granted, one guy was in jail, so
yeah, it happens. Could have been two, so we did well.
Is there any other markets you guys are looking at other than Tucson and Phoenix, or is it really just that's the market, or is there like a plan to at some point maybe venture out into a different space, different market, different state?
I think in the long term, if we ever get like a seasonal home in California, somewhere nearby. It'd be nice to just be licensed there and work those markets. But for the short term, I don't really see any plans of expanding too rapidly. I want to focus on the market that I'm moving into, take care of the business I have, and kind of let those grow.
Yeah, my background with hockey and everything is obviously that I played in Vancouver, and that's where like a lot of my clients are coming from. So that's like a market that I'm starting to be like pretty interested, because it's been very inflated, but it's starting to come down now. So it's something that I'm more looking active at, like especially as I spend more time and everything there.
You've
like,
been going back and forth. You've been speaking there, right?
Yeah, so like it would be nice to maybe expand a little bit there, and even having my own place there would be like nice, especially now in the summer when the weather there is nice and it's not nice here.
Boys, what does the perfect day for you look like? Gotta include work too.
I think
When are you getting up, and how is this start to finish the perfect day for you?
the perfect day is just getting up and knowing that you're lined up for the entire day. Like everything's taken care of. You're not worried you didn't prepare for something. You just know you did the right things the day before. You're ready to go, prepared for everything. A couple good meetings with the partners, people you work with. Everything's taken care of. And for me, that's kind of a dream work day.
What time you start? What time you finish?
I
In a
start
perfect
around
scenario?
7:30, and then I'm normally wrapping up with my day like around 6 o'clock. So for the most part, that involves projects. But if I've got clients I'm working with, that can always change, because clients, if they want to see something, it's on their schedule, which is how it goes. But I enjoy what I do, which kind of makes it a lot easier. Being around good people, good clients, it makes the day-to-day a lot easier.
Yeah, I think my day, I mean, I always wake up with the kiddos at 5, and like we do my stretching and mobility together in the morning, and then we make the breakfast and stuff. I usually get to like the gym between 7 and 8, and then my like work day starts at 8, and like a perfect day would be just like Eddie talked about, with like everything is just lined up, whether it be like design or architect meetings or meetings with investors, but the perfect day for me would end around like 2:30, and then I'll probably take my kids to the golf course for a quick 9 before dinner.
That's a good setup right there.
Sounds like a good day.
I mean, you boys start a little early. Max always has 10 text messages out to me with a punch list by 6:30 in the morning, so I'm on my second dream.
Oh my
around
God, he
that time.
texted me like last week, me and my assistant, like 2 a.m. like, where is this email? Why didn't I get it? And then like 30 minutes later, he's like, oh, I found the email. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I don't think he sleeps, so I don't think the guy sleeps.
All right, Alan, do we do the rapid fire?
I kind of before we want to wrap up, I like these. We have 2 more questions. We can keep it brief. What are you guys? Is there any particular book, podcast, anything that you guys are currently, kind of taking in that you can recommend? And then the second is, before we do the closing game, what's one guilty pleasure you're not afraid to admit on air? So let's start with a productive question here. Is there anything you guys are reading, listening to, or
I
watching?
mean, the Max and Patrick podcast.
Yeah,
is
that
something
that
that
podcast
I'm really passionate
has
about.
changed
like,
my life.
Yeah, hit the
Yeah,
like and
likes,
subscribe button.
Definitely,
Yeah.
it's huge, and we're not getting paid to say that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Curb
yes,
and water.
Yeah.
yes, yes. Referral fee.
Yeah.
Okay, and on a serious note.
I think for the most part, I'm kind of always just trying to take in one new book. So I feel like whatever it is, whatever your craft is, whatever you're looking to learn, just take in one new book. If it's audiobooks, I try and do that when I'm driving instead of listening to music. And I try and implement one thing from every book, whether it's about your schedule, investments, or one little trick or trade you can do. That's something I try and do. And I think that'd be valuable for a lot of people.
Anything in particular you want to recommend?
I've got a list, nothing kind of stands out to me right now, but any sort of real estate investment books are what I'm into right now, always.
At my house, we're just really into like the Airbnbs and the self-manage and the automations with Airbnb and stuff. So we have like a ton of podcasts and books and stuff that like we're reading about that right now to manage our own stuff. But other than that, it's Bluey and Paw Patrol and
Good stuff there.
the good
good
stuff.
life lessons.
The
Blippi?
good stuff. Yeah. Blippi, yeah. Oh, I have some concerning things about the guy that used to play Blippi before. We can talk about it off air. It's not anything on air. It's good. Yeah.
Well, talking about on air, any guilty pleasure you'd like to admit to?
I don't know. I don't like Max DeMilo is just my role model, and like he doesn't have any guilty pleasures, so I
That
just
is not true.
try to live my life like that.
Bro, this is about you, not about me.
We're just like, I mean, I love ice cream in the summer. I mean that's like my one guilty pleasure, I would say. A guilty pleasure that I can admit to here, because my wife is probably not gonna listen to this, is when I get really tired, I go to the office and I take a little nap with my Normatex on and everything. I mean, that's like a real good guilty pleasure.
We'll make sure Joanna sees this part.
Eddie?
Oh, I love it. I would say as far as guilty pleasure goes is like I never resist like going on vacation or booking a tea time or whatever it might be, because I feel like if you work hard enough when the opportunities are in front of you and take care of everything you need to take care of, you should also be able to enjoy those fun things. Going out to dinner, travel, golf, spending that quality time with friends and family is always something that you get the best ROI on.
Okay. Alan.
Last
What's
game
going
here
on here?
is goat talk. So we'll start here. Let's go around from Eddie Waters, and I'll go around. First is goat artist or song listen to after closing a deal.
There's a lot of good songs out there right now. I'm looking forward to the new Lil Wayne album. I heard that was pretty good coming out right now.
I don't have one artist. I'm really pumping the Big Booty mix right now with the two sweet Swedish guys. Like, oh yeah, there's some good ones there. It's really just like an hour of mixed songs that gets my ADHD just like really going.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's good.
Sounds good. I need that link.
Yeah.
I was gonna say just give me the link. I mean, I'm usually ripping on Sirius XM, either BPM, Diplo, Sounds of Ibiza, anything that has a drop every 30 seconds. I'm down for.
I got my 90s, early 2000s hip hop R&B list.
Attaboy. Throwing it back.
So on the back.
Goat sunset spot in Arizona.
Sunset spot in Arizona is going to be like, for us, the Catalina foothills, La Paloma area, beautiful sunsets, pink mountains. It's one of the best parts of Tucson down there.
I mean, I'm at my one hike a week still at Camelback, so I would say on top of a Camelback mountain. That's what I'm gonna say.
I mean, the most beautiful sunsets I've seen here are in Sedona.
That's what I was going to say, Sedona, yeah.
Sedona doesn't really. It's probably the best, right?
Goat TV show.
Oh, that's me here. Let's see. TV show. I don't know if I watch any TV shows that are making me a better real estate individual, investor, or anything at all right now, to be honest with you boys.
I mean, I'm really into Summer House right now on Bravo. Like, it's a really good show.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I'm nervous to look it up.
Is it like a Kardashian type thing? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just like these 10 guys they throw in a house for summer and they just party and fight. It's pretty entertaining. Yeah, it's a great show to fall asleep to.
I mean, Breakthrough. Oh no, Breakpoint. The tennis one was the latest I watched, and then the documentary of Alcaraz. I mean, I don't really watch that much, but the GOAT show I think would probably be Suits if I had to name one that actually has a little bit of something to do with having your brain active while listening to it.
I would say Suits or Entourage.
Yeah.
Entourage is sick.
That F1 documentary was pretty
Oh,
good
yeah, that
too.
was
That'll
really
be
good.
mine. That was a solid one.
Goat's dream dinner guest, alive or dead. Pick their brain, whatever it is.
Dream dinner guest right now. I would have to go with Trump just to see what that guy is going through right now and how things are going. Yep, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'd like to hear behind the
You
scenes
think
on
that guy has a few fires he needs to put out?
Yeah,
every day?
he's got some problems to deal with right now.
It's perfect. Eddie just alienated half of the market here. It's perfect. I would say another guy that is connected to Trump. I would say Tiger Woods. That would be a pretty fun dinner guest, I would say.
Is this a group dinner? Because then we already have the two guys, and we can just add two more.
We would be on like Percocet and lots of alcohol. It'd be great.
It'd be looking like a
And
scene
Diet
from
Cokes
Summer
and
House.
Diet Coke. Yeah.
Alcaraz.
I mean, this is a tough one. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, that'd be
Yep.
a good one.
Gotta get into
Got
that
there,
workout
Patrick.
routine.
Warren Buffett.
I knew he
Ooh,
was gonna
it's a
say
good
that.
man.
Great. I thought about him too, but I figure it's a group dinner, so he'll be there anyways.
I mean, Ronaldo
Yeah.
gets you pumped. Warren Buffett actually gets you some knowledge, I guess.
Who's paying for that dinner?
Wherever we're meeting, they're all richer than us.
Goat financial advice.
I think invest more money than you spend, and you can't really go wrong. If you're putting your money into investments, you'll normally see it back, with a fivefold or something on it, but don't spend it all.
Invested with me.
I mean, you gotta spend money to make money. That's something that Patrick and I have been always very good at. Sometimes spending money that we didn't have, but we always add it.
I would say risk it for the biscuit. You gotta
Yeah.
put money out there, and I think once we get older, we can be a little bit more safe with investing. But now I think it's just you just gotta play, just play and hope it works.
Calculated risk.
Exactly.
I agree.
Goat restaurant in Arizona.
That's you boys. Like we talked about earlier, we got a pretty nice Cracker Barrel down in Tucson. But for us in Tucson, Fleming's is the go-to for all of us.
You
That's
don't
our
have
good
to
steakhouse.
justify it. We know it sucks. I would have to plug my boy Christian with Cafe Monarch in. Definitely a highlight reel where we have our anniversary dinner and stuff every year.
Yeah, as far as a celebratory dinner spot, I think that's the best. But I got to shout out our guys from Pretty Decent Concepts. So anything that Teddy, Thor, and Caitlin put out, Ren and Wolf right now, and soon our steakhouse opening in September.
Love it.
I haven't been to our steakhouse, but that's gonna be the best one. when it's open.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there already. Cleveland, downtown Phoenix.
Probably first week after Labor Day. So you guys will see more of that.
Goat's motivational quote or speaker.
These are some on-the-fly ones.
Yeah,
Let's see. I can't really think of one right now. I'll pass that to Eddie Lack here real quick.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm more on like a David Goggins train, I want to be abused while I work out or while I work, yeah.
Impressive.
I don't think there's any particular one, but I guess my close friends know whenever I look at something. So my feed is full of that. I don't think it's any particular one, but just there's a few cool profiles. on
What did you
Instagram.
post today? You sure have posted something today, a motivational quote.
Well, if you would follow me, you would know.
I feel like we always said it: go big or go home, right? Like if you do it right.
Yeah.
Goat client comment you'll never forget.
Client comment.
You're fired.
Yeah. I think the best thing is that you know, when the clients will just work with you again and kind of rave about you. So I don't have like a specific quote, but that's just always the highlight is when they're ready to go again. That's perfect.
Yeah, like I had a few clients that like when COVID first happened and everything, and they were very, very scared to pull the trigger on something, right? And then like I almost forced them to buy their house, and then for them to come like 3 years later and be like, we couldn't, never even dreamed about making this amount of money, right? Like that's just like a good plus sign in your heart, I feel like.
I mean, I think for us the same thing. We get, it doesn't cost anything to send a nice message or be appreciative of all the efforts. I guess the four of us, we always work very hard for everyone, price point independent, right? Could be a rental, could be $10 million deal. But there's one highlight, at least for me, is we have two dear friends and clients, Kristen and Brian, that after a closing is about 3 or 4 years ago, they gave us an award. Normally you were supposed to give clients a closing gift, which we did, and at dinner they pull out this box, and it was an engraved glass award.
Trophy, yeah.
It was a trophy, and it said, and it says on it, it's LFG Best Agents in Arizona Award, with our logo on it, and that thing is still in the office. And I mean, it's like,
That's awesome.
Did you get one each, or which office is it in?
no, it's one, and it's in my office currently.
What do you expect?
Yeah. It's
Wait.
M&P, not P&M.
I had, I had to deal with them mostly.
But I think that was probably what I was gonna say. Like clients that are really like thankful, appreciative. That maybe not everybody knows the work that goes in behind the scenes. So for some to like do see that and appreciate it, it's nice.
Yeah.
Last one here, GOAT sports experience you've had.
We had.
Like when you made a birdie or something.
Sports experience that was pretty cool for me was when I was at the Phoenix Open, and it doesn't have to do with the Phoenix Open, but running into Mark Cuban. And he was just like kind of coming up the back, and I got to hang out with him for like probably a couple minutes and took a photo, and people still think that photo was like a fake photo of me and Mark Cuban. So that was like a highlight.
I think like winning the world championship in Patrick's hometown, Cologne, was my favorite sport memory.
Well, I guess anything we say after this is.
Yeah, we can't compete with that.
Can't compete. When Patrick and I went to the Masters, that was definitely the highlight.
Yeah, I would say Masters too. I think that was a cool experience.
We have to do this again with a bigger group. Another trip, bro.
Done and done.
Of course.
Put it in the books.
I will not go without winning the lottery. I have to win the lottery to get there. The Masters lottery.
27, so
I'm 0 for 7 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 more to go.
Well, guys, I think that there's a million other things that we could talk about. Maybe we do a second episode on this one day. Really cool that you guys made the time. Super excited that we were able to have you, especially now that you're here in town. I think there's going to be a lot more cool memories to be made and lots of deals to be ripped. So thanks so much for coming today, both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Max.
You're
Yeah,
welcome,
thank you guys for having us. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, guys. And then make sure to like, subscribe, share. Let us know who should be on the show next. And stay tuned for our pickleball and golf matches. We'll keep everybody posted.
Maybe we'll partner up with Capital One and do a live air or something.
The match.